The
Oh
chat
yeah,
for
I should probably
YouTube.
put the
Yeah,
link in the chat.
yeah. So we
Hey,
can
what
share
is
that.
going on, everyone? It is your boy Takun here with the Final Dash podcast with my co-host Dark Cloud and our guest Neo GameSpark. Everyone, go ahead and introduce yourselves, please.
Go ahead, Neil.
Guest of honor. Hey, what's going on, y'all? My name is Neo Game Spark. You can just call me Neo from short. I guess what you can say another one of these cool cats here on the interwebs. Not much else I really got to pimp out other than the
Cast
fact
with my
that I'm
co-host
happy to be
Dark
chopping it up with the
Cloud
homies Takun and
and
Dark
our
Cloud.
guest Neo GameSpark.
What's up, man?
Everyone, go ahead
And you
introduce
guys know who I
yourselves,
am, Dark
please.
Cloud. We got some pretty interesting stuff to talk about.
Guest of honor. Hey, what's going on, y'all? My name is
the Nintendo mascot would come through, but he's kind of busy right now.
Goodness. Yeah,
this man called him a mascot.
You can never rely on a true Nintendo fan to tell you the wrongs and rights of Nintendo.
why you gotta put everyone on blast, Cloud?
You have to, man. You have to. You have
really
to. We
call
can't.
this
We can't
man-
act like the Switch is perfect.
He called this man a mascot. I can't.
Yeah, that's rude. So, anyways, trying to juggle some gameplay on screen here and actually hosting. So, we can go through a couple topics real quick. Something that's not really going to take up much time. So, the 4 new NES and SNES games, huh? What do you guys think about that?
Oh God, they're still releasing them.
I didn't even know they were releasing them. Like, that's like random.
Yeah, like all I remember is they stopped doing the monthly releases, and then they just said you'll get them when you get them.
Yeah, basically, we'll get to it when we get
They,
to
they
it.
literally said we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much. So,
what are the games?
all right, raise your hand if you've heard any of these games before me talking about it right now. So there's Wild Guns, Logic Bomb, Riger, and
I've heard of Riker.
Okay, you've heard of Riger. All right.
I've heard of Wild Guns, but that's the only one so far.
Okay, so it's not completely unknown games, but I'm gonna be honest, I haven't heard any of those games before. They released, and I was like, "Who's asking for this? I need to know." I really
Hardcore
do.
fans, dude. Hardcore fans that they want it. They need it. You know,
But
the hamster
who's-
wheel of Nintendo
who's
Online.
asking for it over things like, Chrono Trigger, Donkey Kong Country, or
I think they gotta wait. Don't they have to like get the? No, I don't know. Do they
I
have
could
to
have
get the
sworn,
rights for it?
isn't a? I thought it was a licensing deal. That's the reason why they can't go ahead and add every game that people want. That's what I thought, anyways.
Now that I'm thinking
maybe,
about it,
but
it
like
is-
those games have been released in the past.
Hold on, let me grab.
True, but I think maybe it comes down to the publisher at hand. I think it might have to be the publisher because I know Square Enix is notoriously stingy with their games and licensing them out. So
Yeah.
that could be the reason, possibly. I'm not sure.
I'm looking at the Super Nintendo Classic, and they did allow Super Mario RPG: Legend of the Seven Stars to be on there. So, and their Secret of Mana. So you would think they would have some sort of relationship to bring these type of games to the Nintendo Classic. I mean, if they're allowed to like sell a system with these games on here, like there's even Breath of Fire that's on this thing. So I don't know. You would think that they'd be able to bring those games out, like bring out games that people really care about, man.
See,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
I've got
saying.
nothing. I've got nothing against them coming out and diversifying the portfolio because just because I haven't heard of it, I don't think that means it's irrelevant. But I mean, to be honest, when you're stringing along these games on like a little poll and saying, "Oh, you'll get to it where you get to it," you got to make it worthwhile. Like for every 5 games you put out, you got to have a classic that people really want to subscribe to the service. But I mean, to be honest, let's just call a spade, y'all. The reason why Nintendo's doing this is because there's no real pressure for them to continue doing it because people are going to still pay the $20 a year to subscribe
Yep.
because they want to play Animal Crossing. That's the gist of it. Let's just call it like
They
this.
already got your money. Like, I mean, why do they have any motivation to do anything else?
Yeah,
It's like
That is true.
Yeah,
I don't even know why I play for like I forget what the fuck it's even called, Nintendo Online. Like
Yep.
am I getting something out of it? Like, I haven't played any multiplayer games on that. Like, I haven't played any of the classic online games or like the old school era. What is it called? Nintendo Entertainment. It was some long ass name that they called this shit for their classics.
It's the Nintendo Entertainment Selection, something like that?
Nintendo Switch Online, NES, and SNES. Yeah,
Jesus
it doesn't have
Christ.
any like fancy naming at all.
Yeah, that just right there, Takun. Like, it's not a fancy name. It's just everything.
It is. It's literally what it is.
Oh yeah, but if I'm being real, I'm of the same caliber, Dark Cloud. I'm trying to think what games online I've played on the Switch that really, like, damn, I really need this subscription. Because Animal Crossing just to visit other islands, and
I haven't even done that.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So
He
I
stayed in
guess
quarantine in real life and in the games.
like exactly, he is not moving, man. He's like, I ain't trying to get my IP address compromised.
That's serious.
So I guess we're all playing for cross saves. That's what it is.
I mean,
Not cross saves, cloud saves.
Select cross saves, whatever.
Select, yeah.
Yeah,
boy.
I don't know what you guys are paying for. I do play games online every now and then, though. But
I'm just trying to figure out what.
I feel like everything is just half baked
Let me
when it
turn on my
comes
Switch and
to
let's
paying
look
for
at
Switch
my-
Online.
Yeah.
Look at the games I played recently.
Because I'm trying to think, like...
I am playing Minecraft Dungeons with my kids. I don't know. Do you need online for that?
Sarah, why aren't you playing that on the Xbox One X?
My kids don't have an Xbox, and they will never have one.
Jesus Christ, bro!
No chill.
Wait, no, didn't you say you had an Xbox in the house? What happened?
Yeah, it's in my media center, and if I open that media center right now, I'm pretty sure it's got dust on it.
Man.
Dang.
Well, man, there's no
respect
Xbox
on
slander.
Xbox.
No,
Dude,
no respect.
What's the point? I have two gaming PCs that outperforms the X.
Well, do you use those gaming PCs though?
I use one that's in the living room, and main one I use in my living room. I mean, in my office.
Well, sir, the Xbox One X, 4K power, $300. Can your PC do that for $300?
Yes, I have a 2080 Ti.
For $300 PC, 4K, let's go.
Wait, hold on. Xbox Series X isn't going to be $300 though.
Oh no, I'm talking about the One X.
Oh, the One X. Yeah.
The so-called 4K 60 uncompromised is compromised, and now their new system is 4K 60 uncompromised again. Like, make your mind up, bro.
Now let's see what this monster can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, man.
And you've got
power of the Monado.
Ubisoft coming out the woodwork. Hey, Valhalla is going to be 30 FPS on the Series X. Oh my god.
Oh, all right, but moving along.
Yes.
Hold on. Before we move along, because there's this kind of follows suit with like the classics, and I don't see it here. The amazing Sega announcement.
Oh, see, it wasn't
Lord.
directly related to Nintendo. I didn't know if we wanted to talk about that.
No.
What was it? The groundbreaking or the earth-shattering? They hyped it up.
Yeah.
They said it was going to change the industry. Like,
Xbox fans.
I forget the exact quote, but they hyped the hell out of it.
Oh, industry shaking announcement.
Dude, ridiculous. Xbox fans were saying that it was going to be like exclusive games announced with Microsoft partnership. Like, bro, stop. Like,
boy, if you don't,
dude. But what makes it even worse is you got to buy there. It's $49 per the little. It's got a 1-inch display. I want you to look at. Go get a ruler and get a 1-inch. Like, this thing fits in the palm of your hand, and they have 4 games on them, and each color has different games on them.
I don't even think the Game Boy Micro had a 1-inch display.
No, it had bigger than that. Dude, you cannot play this thing. As a matter of fact, if you buy all 4 of them as a package, they give you their display, that a magnifying display. It comes with it, unless you buy that separately. So you got to spend like $200 to get the full thing, and then on top of that, I hope you don't get arthritis playing those games with that tiny D-pad.
Oh yeah. You think your single Joy-Con is a bad experience?
Oh god.
Try finding one of those. The thing looks like it's literally like a quarter of the size of a Joy-Con. It looks rough.
Dude, when I first saw it, I was like, did they like oversize the hand or something to make it seem like it's like...
I thought that too. I was like, this got to be Photoshop. There's no way.
I will. I don't think. I personally don't think that they are selling this for people to play the games. I think they're selling it for people to use as collectibles.
Honestly, I feel like that's what it is.
That's the only reason it's a playable collectible.
Because let's be real about life for a second. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but those retro consoles that they came out with, did anyone else just play them for a little bit when they came out? Maybe invited your friends and then you just put them on a shelf?
Every one of them is in a box. I've used them for about 3 days and put them back in the box.
Oh, I'm the outcast. I didn't even buy any. I had just... I knew I wasn't going to play it enough to justify it. And
True.
Before the ROM apocalypse happened, I had downloaded like every single ROM I would ever be interested in playing, ever. So I was like, I mean, that was me.
Yeah. Because to me, it just seems like, oh, we're putting these out for collector's sake, not really necessarily like, hey, we want to play this. Because a lot of those games are on other services, and they're available.
Yeah,
you know?
Even for the SNES with Star Fox 2, that was put on the Switch SNES Online. So
oh wow,
yeah, it's novelty at the end of the day.
But yeah, that's Sega. I mean, honestly, that Sega announcement, I know people are kind of pissed off about it, but to be honest, I look at it like this. Guys, this is the company that hyped up Sonic Forces. What did you expect?
This is the company that sold multiple consoles within a generation.
Yo, right? What was it? Shoot. The one time they put out that console and then they announced that, hey, it's available like right now, and everyone was like, what the hell?
Yep. I think that was Dreamcast. As a matter of fact, that was it Dreamcast?
No, I think it was it might have been the Saturn, I think.
Okay, it was Saturn, because I remember watching it. I was reading about like the Nintendo versus was it PlayStation, and then they were talking about the release of the PlayStation and Nintendo, and they talked about Sega because Saturn came out and they had like all of these like the graphics was great and everything, but what they did was in order to beat PlayStation, they came on stage and said it was available right now. And it hurt them because of the way they designed the system to play the games. It fucked them over hardcore.
And I think with the retailers too, because they weren't giving it any type of, because back then it was very big, like the relationship between the retailers and the console manufacturers. Like if you did not give us months, yeah, exactly. If you didn't give us months to oh god, let me look at this.
There was a big game retail. I think it was Funkoland. That when it was announced, after they said like, dude, what, do you not support us? Well, what happened? Like, how did we not know about this? Like, so it backfired on them trying to beat PlayStation doing that.
Yeah, I think it might have been the Saturn. I'm just on Wikipedia trying to check this stuff out. It might have been the Saturn.
I think it had to have been the Saturn.
Oh, yeah, MDZ in the chat says Saturn.
It was the Saturn? There we go.
He said Saturn at one point. I don't know if it was particularly to the topic at hand.
Got you. Someone said the Sega Game Gear Micro. That's essentially what it is.
Yeah. I mean, like I said,
how much are they selling?
Nintendo's micro system wasn't that ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, going on to
moving on from the earth-shattering, world-breaking thing. Yeah. So it's just really quick. I had mentioned it in the most recent video I did about Pokemon, where the hidden ability starters are now available in Pokemon Home. What you do is you transfer a Pokemon from Sword or Shield into Pokemon Home. You open the app on your phone and go to like the settings button and receive your mystery gift, and you'll get Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble with their hidden abilities. So Grookey will have Grassy Surge, Scorbunny will have Libero, and Sobble will have... I already forgot the name of it. I'm sorry, it's the least important one. You can't blame me for this.
I haven't been keeping up with Pokemon, so I have no idea what any of this is.
After I beat it and I got like the legendaries at the end, I just turned it off and never turned on again.
Yeah, I don't blame you guys. And Teleon's hidden ability is Sniper. There we go. My goodness. So, yeah. For those
shout out for the Pokemon fans.
Yeah, shout out to Pokemon fans if you guys are trying to get those hidden abilities. I know a lot of people are looking forward to the Cinderace Libero, so get on it. And that was quick.
All right, so Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remaster launch August 27th. I don't know about you guys, but I remember playing this game back in the day on the Wii, and
Right.
I look at the remake and I'm like, where's the difference?
It's a remaster. Remaster.
Okay, even okay, not remake. Because I'm very clear on the remake and remaster thing. Even on a remaster, where's the difference?
You don't see like the upgraded quality.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure
like,
it's just upscaled. Like, I'm pretty sure that's all.
it's still live, or
Okay.
for now,
OBS
it's
is back.
buffering. All right.
Yeah, it looks blurry. Oh god.
Yeah, I'm like,
The
dude.
stream, or are we talking about Final Fantasy?
Oh no, the game Final Fantasy.
The game looks. I don't even. The game does. It was never a game. How do you not make this look good?
I just think that if they're ever going to come out with any of these like remasters, they just got to give it to Blue Point. Blue Point's like the only studio I really trust, because I saw that Mafia 2 remaster. Good God,
Man, I don't know, man. Like the Mafia, you know who actually is getting really good praise about a remaster? What's it called? Saints Row. Saints Row.
Oh, the fourth, right?
Takun, shut up.
Or is it the third?
Yeah, the third.
Oh, Saints Row the third. Yeah, I heard that was really good.
Yeah, like they literally, dude. I'm watching a video right now, and this is disrespectful.
Where's the hell
Yo.
is this?
Which is so weird, because with the amount of times that Square Enix has ported every game under the sun, like if you look at Final Fantasy IX, look at that remastered. That game looks great.
The text looks like 280p. Like the text, not even the menu system has got updated.
What is going
So
on?
are
This
we
ain't
saying
good, man.
we're all in agreement, even for remaster, this is a very low bar that they have
Yes.
set?
This looks like open Photoshop sharpen filter.
For real, dude. Like, yo, this is disrespectful. My M Classic could do a better job at upscaling this than what they did.
Hey man, put your M Classic to the test and
Hey,
let
you
me know how
might
it
as well,
works on
Dark
that
Cloud,
game.
do that comparison video.
Yeah,
Do side-by-side comparison video with M Classic, without M Classic.
Dude, like, oh man, I don't know, man. I wanted to be positive about this. This was one of the games I really never really cared much about. I played it, I beat it, but it was just something to pass the time. It was not something I'm looking forward to. But I'm guessing that Square's just literally going back to their catalog and just bringing everything out. Like they even call Final Fantasy VIII like definitive or remastered. Like, dude, it's the same fucking game.
Well, they did go back and they did overhaul some things on that one more so than
Didn't
the
they
other.
lose Final Fantasy VIII and they had to basically remake
Yeah, they
the
lost
game?
the assets from the original game,
Yeah.
so even they didn't care about it. That's wild.
Hey man,
Yep.
it's wild to see how much people care or don't care about their previous projects.
I mean, the same thing happened. I mean, to be honest, I can't really blame them as much because not every studio will retain the assets, because the idea of game preservation and bringing games forward is still a relatively new concept. So, like, take Kingdom Hearts, for example. That came out in 2002, and they had lost the data for Sora, so they had to remake it from the ground up for the PS3 HD remaster. So, it's not too surprising, but I just look at Crystal Chronicles, it doesn't look that appealing. And it's so weird because this was one of the last games. You remember when they announced all these Final Fantasy games for like Xbox and Switch? This is, I believe, the last one of that batch to hit. And I'm just like, y'all took all this time, because they announced this, I think, like a year and a half ago. It's been a while.
All right, gaming industry, we have a trend here. I need you to stop. Please stop overhyping mediocre announcements. Please, for the love of God, don't do it.
Oh, God, man.
Facts.
If anything. All right, so moving on to the next topic right here. Now, this one will be actually interesting because we can speculate on stuff. So, Amazon France has listed, as they do every single week, there seems to be a new announcement. They've listed a bunch of unannounced Switch games. And it's not just unannounced Switch games. There are some reports for these games being like on PlayStation and Xbox, PC, things like that. But we're here about finding out the new Switch stuff because that's interesting. So, just going down on the list. Okay, so on Amazon France, they have 3 games for Bethesda. One of them is Switch only. 2 of them are multi-plat PS4 and Nintendo Switch. The other one across all 3 platforms. No PC because they just release it on Steam. They don't need an Amazon listing. You got 2 games from Square. Both of them are Switch only. 2 games from Warner. 1 Switch. Games from Ubisoft. Both are multi-plat. 1 game from Take-Two. Multi-plat. 1 game from Capcom. Switch only. And there's 4 Nintendo games listed with an unrelated question mark picture. So, I mean, gentlemen, it's around that time anyway. June. This is when E3 would have happened. This is when a lot of these retailers, because the retailers, they know a lot more about these game announcements than the general public does because they have to for their pages. Like the second they have that trailer, boom, it goes live. So we got a couple of games here. What do y'all want to speculate on things?
I'll let Cloud take the first stab. I really don't have any educated guesses other than one. I only have one educated guess.
So they say 3 games are from Bethesda. I'm going to say Doom Eternal finally is going to get its release date and probably come out and shit all over that so-called Outer Worlds, how it looked. Because I think it's our company. What's the name of the guys that do really good ports?
Panic Button?
Yeah, Panic Button. I think Panic Button's doing it again.
Yeah, they are.
As they should.
Yeah, so...
As they always
but they say 3. One's a multi-plat, and then one is a Switch-only game.
So they have 3. One is Switch only, one is PS4 and Switch, and the other is multi-plat.
Okay. I'm gonna say they're finally gonna release a Fallout 4 on the Switch.
Okay.
The assets of that game is old. The assets of that game is pretty old and washed out. So it shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be hard to put that on the Switch.
Right. So if I had to guess, it says 1 Switch only. 2 of them are multi-plats. Well, 2 of them is a multi-plat with PS4, and the other one is just across the board multi-plat. If I had to say Switch only, because I wouldn't have said Doom Eternal if there was already a product listing for it, which I'm not sure there is. Can you pre-order Doom Eternal on the Switch or not yet?
No, it's not listed in the eShop yet.
Okay, so that's probably what it's going to be. If I had to take a guess, the multi-plat with PS4 and Switch, I don't know. Like at first, I'm thinking it could be a game that, let's just say, they're re-releasing on those systems, but not on Xbox. Because sometimes I've noticed if a game comes out as multi-plat, sometimes they don't put out like a boxed version on Xbox for whatever reason. It's so weird. So,
I think I'm wondering if they made a mistake because one of them already came out, and I think it's that weird Elder Scrolls
Elder Scrolls Blades.
Oh yeah, Blades. The mobile game.
I'm wondering if that's like a mistake on there because that's the only one that's coming to Switch only.
I
think it came out already.
All the multi-plat games are mobile games. No, that'd be terrible.
Don't say that. Please don't say that. Elder Scrolls Blades for PS4 and Switch. Oh god.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, man. But it could be.
Definitely. Okay, so 2 games from Square, both are Switch only. Now this, it can go any direction. It could be a sequel to Octopath Traveler. It could be like
that's right. Bravely Default 2. It doesn't have a
Bravely Default 2. Yeah. That's right.
I can see them doing an Octopath Traveler game already. The assets of that game, I mean, the story was not that great anyway, so I'm pretty sure they could come up with a sequel to it.
Yeah, right. I mean, it was a good game. I played it, and I think it came out, so... It
came out 2018.
Yeah. So, yeah, it could definitely have a sequel. I'd be down for it.
2 games from Warner. 1 Switch only, 1 multi-plat. Now, this is where I kind of have to temper my expectations because that could be anything. It could be Lego. It could be freaking Scribblenauts. It could be, God. Like, part of me wants to say, yo, it's going to be the Batman Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, but I'm not going to lose sleep over that, you know?
Yeah. It could be anything.
Or it could be Gwent.
Oh, man.
You joke about that. I might go ham.
It could be a physical copy. You never know.
Physical copy of God.
Yeah. 2 games from Ubisoft. 2 of them multi-plat. Oh god.
2 of them multi-plat. We're finally gonna get a Divisions game on the Switch.
Oh god.
That's just gonna be like 40 gigs. It's not even gonna be installable on the system without a cartridge.
Straight up. That's how it is for a lot of games now. 1 game from Take-Two, which is a multi-plat. But the thing is, they're coming out with all these multi-plats. That's why I'm thinking it might be like new releases rather than just straight ports of older stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't Take-Two Rockstar?
They own Rockstar. They own Rockstar. They own Shop. Oh, if we don't get
that
GTA
would be
now,
a groundbreaking announcement.
All right, Neo, dude, GTA 5 on the Switch.
Of course, bro.
Sell millions.
Dude, that game. You don't think I'll own a portable version of 5? Like,
bro, doing heists, sitting underneath on the bed, doing heists, taking a crap on the toilet. Dude, come on.
I love how people always use the toilet as the barometer for.
Yeah, when you get older, that is the escape room, especially if you're a father.
But I'm just being real.
You got to look at it from Cloud's perspective.
I'm being real. I'm being real though. But why are you bringing? I don't even bring my phone into the bathroom like that at time.
Nah. Because that once you go in there without an object, it's done and out. Like you want to disappear for a bit, get away from everything.
Cloud says, "Yo, that's me time."
I don't need to be staying in the bathroom that long. People gonna start thinking shit, bro. Yo, for all we know, Cloud is in there typing to us in the group chat like
he's doing this whole podcast.
He could literally be pushing out a whole log for all we know.
There's been times.
I see that, man. Where are you right now? Where are you right now? You sound far away. You sound far away. For all we know, I don't know.
It's not okay.
You're tiptoeing. You kind of shaky right now, Cloud.
I'm in the office, man.
Dark crap 1983.
I was about to say, it's like, oh, is that the nickname for the room, huh? I gotta head into the office and just sits in the bathroom for the next 2 hours.
I'm just saying, he's far away right now. For all we know, he let the bathroom door open and his mic is in the room. All right, Cloud.
No, you guys are here, the kids and everything.
Oh, it's like the old advertisements for the Wavebird controller where the dude had.
Dark Cloud is just bringing his fantasies 15 years later. Wait a minute, I did hear somebody knocking on the door. Are you taking up space in the bathroom, Dark Cloud? Come on.
No, that was the front door, man.
Oh, so he has 2 doors to the bathroom, y'all.
Hey, so he's got one of those bathrooms in between the 2 bedrooms.
Oh my god.
Hashtag I got money.
Oh no. No. So the next one's from Capcom.
Monster Hunter.
Are you sure?
If it's a Monster Hunter, would you want it to be Monster Hunter World or its own set alone? Because it says Switch only.
I'd say it's got to be its own separate one because just being realistic about the way it has to. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that it can't run World. I think it's possible, but if I'm being real, I think they have a unique opportunity to have 2 different types of Monster Hunter games out right now. Like you have World, which is like the most accessible one for everybody to play, and it's a different game entirely. And then you could have what I assume is going to be one for the more core Monster Hunter veterans, and it's built from the ground up. Because how many times have they been porting these damn games, bro? The amount of times they've been porting 3 and 4, I'm losing my mind.
You know what? I would love for them to go in the route of a cel-shaded or cartoonish version of Monster Hunter.
I could be down.
Like think of like a Breath of the Wild art style Monster Hunter game.
That'd be nice.
Same asset, sure. same everything, same like detail stuff. Only thing is just the game just looks more cartoony and all that, just to basically keep up with like frame rate and like sharpness playing it on the Switch. Because if they go for a more detailed, realistic world, we're gonna have like pop-ins and shit from like I don't know, but I'm hoping that it is, because Monster Hunter is one of the games that I could literally play for days. Takun, I think you got like 1,000 hours in the PS4 version.
It's somewhere close to 900.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got just as many hours as an Xbox Game Resolution does. That's crazy.
Damn. I have as many hours in a Monster Hunter as everyone else puts into specs research.
Oh, right, exactly. Like these 2-hour podcasts. So check out the eSRAM and what it can do.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Monster Hunter World, I just picked up because Amazon had this like price glitch where you could get Monster Hunter World Iceborne Master Edition Deluxe Steelbook on the Xbox One for $20. I'm like,
On
damn.
Xbox,
You know why it's $20 on Xbox? Because ain't nobody playing it.
But it went up to $40 the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, but
They
you still
were-
spent $20 on a game no one gonna play though.
I'm gonna play it. I have it here in my collection, and it's on
Dude.
Game Pass too.
You know how many people I know personally that literally was talking about the resolution, how it's much higher than the PS4, and you find out where they are right now, they don't even have endgame armor.
Oh, bro, you know that. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
You know that's a thing.
These people, like I said, they play specs, not games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got as many hours into my game as they got specs.
Right,
That's how you know
exactly.
I'm doing it right.
Facts.
Before
So
we
They
then-
move
also
on,
got. Good.
just real quick from the Monster Hunter, I know you was talking about art style. I want to talk more about gameplay. I want to see him cherry pick the best mechanics of World and like the older like Generations Ultimate. That's
That's
what I
why
wanna
I'm
see.
saying. That's why
Yeah.
I'm saying they do the art style, because if they try to go for that visual style, you know they're gonna take away like features and AI things. Like, you know, the way you could jump on the monster and slam his face into the wall. Them trying to go for like a realistic graphics and trying to do that on the Switch, I don't think it's gonna work out too well.
There's got to
Oh,
be
yeah,
some trade-offs.
I'm saying the
Yeah.
the gameplay, like you know, the smoothness of World and how like the map was the map. It wasn't 12 maps, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm talking about stuff like
Yep.
that, and I'm talking about bringing back like the art styles from Generations Ultimate. Not like the art style of the game itself, but like the hunter styles. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
so
could be- that
I
could
want
be
to see a
very cool.
good combination of great things, and then I want us to be OP as hell. But then in return, I want the monsters to be insane. Because if you give the
All right.
player all that stuff, then you got to get the monsters a lot too.
Let's take a guess. If this was announcement, this Monster Hunter game, what do you think the first week's sales would be worldwide?
Astronomical.
I think 2 million first week.
I would say 2 to 3.
I'm gonna go. Well, it depends. So Japan has already fully adopted the Switch. We know that.
No, that's a scientific fact.
So I'm thinking, yeah, it might be. If it sells less than 2 million, I'd be very surprised. But I think it's just gonna have really strong legs if it sells less than 2 million. So I think it's going to be selling consistently week after week. It's not going to be like we sell all the copies one week and then it just drops off a cliff. I think it's going to have legs.
For sure. For sure.
Facts. And then there are 4 Nintendo game listings with an unrelated question mark. Now, this has prompted a lot of people to say, oh, these could potentially be upcoming games Nintendo hasn't announced. Because, you know, there was the big blowout of Super Mario potentially getting a collection of some sorts or multiple collections.
Yeah, boy.
A bunch of other things like
It's summer now. How about a remake of was it Mario Sunsplash or
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Dude, I haven't played that shit in forever. Like a remaster of Mario Sunshine.
Supposedly, that's part of the collection. The collection is supposed to have Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy 1 and 2.
That's insane.
Or somewhere along the 2 collections, those games are broken up.
If what is it, like Metroid is still far away, I'm thinking and I'm putting about 50% hope in there that there's going to be a Metroid trilogy.
I thought you said I'm putting 50 bones on it.
No. Like I have a great feeling that there's going to be a Metroid Prime coming.
Oh yeah,
There could be.
I would put money on a Metroid Prime collection for Switch.
Honestly, I feel like that game has been done forever. And I think they're holding it off. Because one thing I've noticed about Nintendo is I have a feeling that a lot of games that they've worked on, they've been done for a very long time. They're just like, when do we release it? I don't know. Next year? Nah. And the year after that? Sure. You know,
Well, Yeah, no. It would make sense because remember at the start of the Switch, they had games done for like all the games that came out that year were done at launch, but they spaced them out because they didn't want to put everything out there at once and then have nothing. So they just kind of dripped like 1 or 2 games every month. So
yeah,
that's probably what they're doing here.
oh damn! All this M Classic talk in the chat.
Hey man, if you haven't picked one up, man, you should. I got 2 of them.
I'm thinking about getting it. I mean, shoot,
Is it really worth it?
So here's the pitch. Here's the pitch, Dark. All right, so I just got a 4K TV, nice 55-inch, it's great, love it. However, when I'm playing Xenoblade on it, now I'm not gonna say Xenoblade looks bad. It does not look bad. It looks fine.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I played Xenoblade with my M Classic, and I've taken it off and changed the difference. The depth and the sharpness goes away with it off.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
there we go.
I gotta get it for Xenoblade.
So because I'm about to say it's not a, yeah, exactly, but it's not like it's a problem. But 720p on a 55-inch 4K is just
It's rough. That's rough, buddy.
It has this anti-aliasing and fake checkerboard type thing where it'll push it to 1080.
Okay, so long as it looks more playable, because I upgraded from a 40-inch 1080p Samsung, which I was okay with it on the Switch. It was fine because it's whatever. But when you push, it's just nah, man.
Yeah, and that 4K right now is especially so because a 4K TV does a better job upscaling from 1080p source. 720p they don't do a really good job upscaling from that.
Yeah. All right. So, any last predictions on other games besides like the Mario Collection, Metroid?
We're gonna see a Mario Kart 9.
Ooh. See,
well, I mean, it has been a few years.
I want to believe because it has been. What was it? 2013 or 2014 when it came out?
I think 2014.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's definitely due for a new entry in the series. But then you look at the stupid Mario Kart Tour on the phone, and they're still like updating that, and I don't think they want to put out 9 when they're still working on that crappy mobile game. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I feel like with Tour, it's probably just gonna be its own thing, and it's not like you have to choose one or the other, because I feel like that's gonna have its own life as opposed to if you just had one game and you didn't want to sacrifice it. Like, for example, if they came out with Fortnite and then they came out with like a different version, like for Fortnite Mobile. You know what I'm saying? Would they really come out with Fortnite 2? What about Fortnite Mobile? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I feel like for some reason Mario Kart Tour might have already kind of pushed back a Mario Kart 9. But yeah, we definitely need a new Mario Kart. I don't know what the hell else they do.
If anything, I think Tour would basically push people to want to play a traditional Mario Kart game, especially if a new one.
Oh, like I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah.
So that would be, in a way, kind of like what PlayStation is trying to do. Hey, let them get a taste of Horizon Zero, and then when they announce PS5, they show Horizon Zero 2. It's like, fuck! Damn, this game was awesome, so I can only get this on here? Alright, I'm gonna have to try to get a Switch to get this. So, yeah, I think that's what they're doing. Like, I don't know, I could be wrong, but that would be a really good strategy.
Oh, I'll take another stab at guessing Switch games.
Yeah.
Pikmin 4.
Aye, Pikmin Collection. Yeah, it's true. Or Pikmin 4. Yeah.
I don't understand how you guys like that.
Pikmin 4 was like already pretty much done for the Wii U, and then we had never heard about it ever again.
Oh man, I remember. Yeah, it was. Oh man, like 3 years ago when the Switch came out. I remember I was listening to a Weapon Wheel podcast, and Blanchard was talking like Pikmin 4's come in like. What's his name has been done with it for over a year, and they're just sitting on it. That was 3 years ago. Oh my god.
Yep. Yeah. So I would not be surprised at all if it got reworked for Switch and was released literally the same day they announced it.
Right. All right. So moving.
I don't know. I'm gonna let you take a stab at this one, Takun. This next topic, because I don't even know who the hell these guys are.
Oh boy. Who we talking
Go
about?
ahead, Takun. So Suda51 wants more of Grasshopper Manufacturer's older titles to appear on the Switch. As y'all know, Suda51 is working on No More Heroes 3. He worked on No More Heroes franchise, but he also has a very fleshed out history in gaming, especially with a Grasshopper Manufacturer. So basically it comes down to, if you want the games on Switch, you have to ask the publishers. I really have no say on it because they hold the rights to the games. So if you want something like Killer is 7, you got to talk to Capcom. If you want something like Killer is Dead, you got to talk to Kadokawa Games. So he'd love to see everything, but it just comes down to the publisher issues, which makes a lot of sense because a lot of publishers, sometimes they'll be like, no, we don't want to do this, or, oh, well, what's the money going to look like? You have to renegotiate a lot of things. And I mean, before you even get to the idea of developing the game for Switch, you got to go through the hoops and contracts have to be signed. So yeah, it makes sense. So bug Capcom and all these companies if you want it.
It has to make business sense. Yeah, Grasshopper. Yeah, Grasshopper is the one that I believe published the No More Heroes series. So Suda51 is saying, like, look, I would love No More Heroes on Switch, but it's out of my control.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all the rights for Grasshopper games, they're kind of all over the place. Like, for example, okay, so we said Killer is Dead is Kadokawa Games. Grasshopper published Travis Strikes Again, and they're doing No More Heroes 3, so they'll be able to, if they wanted to, take that game to other platforms. Like other things, for example, like Lollipop Chainsaw is Kadokawa Games as well. Shadow of the Damned. Y'all remember Shadow of the Damned? I know someone in the chat's got to remember that.
Somebody in chat remembers. I believe.
Yeah.
Never played it.
Yeah, it came out during that time towards it wasn't the end, it was 2011, but where basically there were so many games coming out on like the PS3 360, but you actually played as a Mexican demon hunter, and that was published by EA when there was that period of time where EA was just doing a bunch of like publishing random shit. But yeah, so it's all over the place, and that's what kind of sucks. But I mean, it's the nature of the business. When you work as a developer and you aren't purchased by a company, or you don't have a particular working relationship with just one, that means your games can go anywhere because you have to go where the funding is.
Isn't that kind of like what the fucking what is it? The studio that everybody's likes and doesn't like. They just did
Platinum Games.
Platinum Games, yeah. Yeah, Platinum Games.
Platinum Games is coming up too.
Yeah. Platinum
yeah.
Platinum Games, yeah. It's the exact same thing. Like, if people want a remaster for Metal Gear Rising, you got to go and ask Konami, which let's be real about knife.
Gosh,
does Konami really do games? That's another topic. But
they do casino games.
Yeah, and they make money on them, so I can't really fault them.
Pachinko.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, just ask the companies, and we'll see what happens. So
what are they making? Operation Blue? What was it called again?
Platinum?
No. What we did to get Xenoblade and shit.
Operation Rainfall.
Yeah,
Operation Rainfall. Yeah. Do that again.
You gotta mobilize for certain things.
Pretty much.
I will say that because Capcom came out and they asked if you really want to see a Resident Evil 3 remake, you got to really ask for it or show what you want. And look, they did.
Wait. To be fair, though, I guarantee that they already had that in development like long.
True. Before. You know who else did that bullshit? Wonderful 101.
Yeah, exactly. That is true. But to be fair, developing a brand new game versus a port, like Platinum did do some scumbaggery stuff with that Kickstarter, like, because they were already making it.
This is the only way it got done so fast.
Yeah, like there was no way it got done that quick. And when it came out, it was still kind of choppy. So,
okay. I think somebody was saying the original was ran better.
It did.
Wouldn't surprise me.
All right. I don't even want to classify this as news. It doesn't really feel like news, but got to talk about it. So, Bayonetta 3 director Hideki Kamiya has reiterated that Bayonetta 3 has not been canceled.
Yeah,
I mean, why would they think that? I don't know. Why would they think it got canceled?
When things go quiet for too long.
So here's the situation. If you weren't familiar with Dark Cloud, so Bayonetta 3 was announced at the end of 2017, and we're going on 2.5 years now. There's been no gameplay. There's not even been a promotional image. There's been nothing. They keep saying we're working on it. And then I believe it was last year, one of the higher ups with the project actually left the company. So that prompted a lot of people to think, yo, is something happening? But they kept saying, oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So it just comes down to people being impatient and honestly getting worried, because it's been like this game was announced the same year as the Switch. And we've had so many games announced after it.
You mean like
and
Shin Megami Tensei? You like Shin Megami Tensei?
Yeah, that one right there. Well, here's the thing. As
Dude,
someone
they didn't even show anything, dude.
bro, they straight up said, "Yo, we're working on it."
They're saying, "Yeah, we're thinking about it." And like
we're thinking about developing it this week.
Yeah, it was literally just text on a screen with like older like screenshots and artworks and stuff.
All right, so I got to play devil's advocate on this. So one of the reasons I don't really like fault them, and I think fans should like think out the box, when the Wii U flopped, what did Nintendo fans, third-party fans, people that didn't like Nintendo say? If you're going to tell me to buy a new system, you need to show me your hand, even if those games are not even being made yet. That's the only way I'm going to trust you. What did Nintendo do? They showed a sign of every game they are working on and all their partners. I think we demanded that a little too early to say, hey, we'll only trust you if you show me you're working on bringing out games, because you dicked me on the Wii U. So I think that it was way too early to show their hands, but it was something that we asked for.
Are you saying we played ourselves? Is that what I'm hearing, Cloud?
Yes.
I think that's what he's saying, because we got impatient. We wanted that. But okay, here's the thing that I kind of don't agree with that, because if it were Nintendo, like, first off, Nintendo, they dance their beat under their own drum. They don't really care about any of that stuff. Like, for example, something like they could have announced with the Switch that Skyrim was coming to the Switch. Like, Skyrim comes to the Switch is actually a big deal, you know?
They did.
But they didn't announce it until E3 that year, and then it was out a few months later, and then and even something else like Doom, they announced that Doom was coming to the Switch, I think, like, what, 2-3 months before it was even out, you know, and that actually did a lot.
Here's what they did, though. That sign that they showed of all their partners showed Bethesda.
Are you sure, though? Because listen, Bayonetta, come on now, Bayonetta it's still niche. It's still a niche series.
It is, but you've got pervs that love it.
No, of course, bro. You can take any. Exactly. You can take any franchise and it'll sell to its audience. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it was a case of Platinum stretching themselves too thin. Because let's be honest, though, like, there was a time where Platinum was working on like 7 games at the same time. You know?
They're known to do that. They'll have a ton of projects happen at once, and then you get stuff like Legend of Korra.
Oh,
all right. So I'm looking at that launch list right now. They had Xenoblade 2 on there. They had Oceanhorn, Stardew Valley, Dragon Balls. Like, even that Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2, that didn't come out till way later. They even had Minecraft Stories. So they showed. I'm saying, and they had Octopath Traveler.
No,
they had.
Stories, I think that was. Wasn't that the Telltale game?
Was it?
Yeah, I think Minecraft Stories. I think that was the Telltale game.
They had Fire Emblem. They had who else? They had Steep. They had Steep. That shit that never came out.
Yo, that didn't come to the Switch. Oh my
god. Remember how disrespectful they were to Nintendo? They canceled the game and didn't even tell Nintendo about it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was still up on Nintendo's website and everything. Yeah.
Wild.
That was rude. I remember. I remember telling you about that.
This list, they even had Dragon Ball Z. I'm sorry, Dragon Quest 11 on here before they announced it, and people paid attention. So this list showed shit that was coming out way later.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I guess I could say, like, yeah, it's their fault for like hyping us up, but it's something that we asked for.
I guess, but realistically, do you think? Okay, here I'll counter that point. Do you think that people were to be excited? Oh, that Shin Megami Tensei 5 is coming to the Switch. Do you think that really helped the day one sales when we saw that the vast majority of those day one sales were not just like core gamers, Nintendo fans, but there were a lot of people who were just like.
I have a response for that. there were Nintendo fans that literally said, I'm buying a Switch now because I know Smash is coming out on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's every Nintendo system though.
So we can't. So we don't know. If some people will be like, you know what, I'm gonna get this now because apparently I hear it's selling out pretty well, just to have one.
Well, that's kind of like that when people bought a PS3 for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Facts.
Oh, why'd you have to go
Imagine
there?
that. Hey, I'm just being real, man. I waited. I did my waiting. 10 years of it in Azkaban, bro. Bro. But yeah. So I think if we don't see it this year, like this next couple of weeks, I just because I stopped getting excited for games that I don't know anything about. You know what I'm saying?
I know the feeling. All right. Before we move forward, hold up. We've been ignoring the chat, and I apologize, chat.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to y'all.
Okay, so Ray says they announced new Paper Mario, and it came out 2 months later, or it comes out 2 months later. Facts. I love that. That is true. It just got announced a couple weeks ago, and then we're getting it July. So there's that.
Someone says, I'm thinking Pikmin 4 got scrapped and rebooted like Metroid Prime 4 did, and we just never heard. That could be a possibility, too. You know, Nintendo's all about, like, remaking what makes their games, you know?
Oh, and then MDZ just bringing up bad memories of Operation Rainfall era. Go import Xenoblade last week.
We love her. We love her. Man, we ain't trying to slander nobody on this stream, but if you weren't down... I think he is.
Yeah, I still have him on Facebook. He just commented on one of my posts recently. He's still around.
All I say is, listen, if you love Xenoblade now, that's great. But if you were against it when we were down there fighting in the trenches, just don't be there when we're
mailing the envelopes out to Nintendo.
Exactly. If you weren't with me when we were down, don't be with me when I was up. Nah.
Yes.
Exactly.
I would love to see Nintendo come back and do a last story remake or remaster.
There we go.
Because that's a game that one of the I get Xenoblade is great, but that game was also fucking fire.
I remember we played that. I remember we actually spent a good amount of time doing the multiplayer.
Yep.
Yeah, that game was fun. I mean, obviously a good single player, a little weird combat system, but like
I know we're going back, but wouldn't it be great if they did a Kid Icarus?
Bro. Oh, I hope that's one of the games.
Yeah.
Kid Icarus Uprising is so slept on 3DS.
It is a very good game,
dude. I remember
controls are what got people.
Yeah, dude, you needed it. You didn't they give you something in the box in order to help you play it?
Yeah. These was that wasn't the Circle Pad Pro, was it?
No. It's like a little stand that you put on your desk. And
that's right. Yeah.
I still have mine somewhere.
So Platinum Games boss doesn't think that next gen will be as groundbreaking. You know, Hideki Kamiya talked about the range of subject of next gen in his video, basically saying it's not going to be as groundbreaking. Like, I don't know. I think that's, you know what? I don't want to be that guy because I actually like Platinum Games, but I think that's a limitation in their development.
Well, hold on. Let me pull it up because I did actually read that article. I was like, hold up here, because I was like, them words.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah, in the context of what he says, he's saying, let's see, I'll quote it here. As an industry, it's all very promising, and I don't want to be perceived as too negative, but to give another example of my point, the Nintendo Switch was very groundbreaking in how it was able to just take a home console and make it portable. It's something that you hadn't seen a lot of people doing before. It took this wall that perhaps a lot of people didn't even know existed and broke it down. Switch opened up all these new possibilities. I think Game Boy and DS also did that. There were so many surprises in those. If you compare that to when you're simply seeing graphical improvements or just faster, bigger, obviously it's nice, but it doesn't have that same inventive quality that really surprised me with past consoles.
See, I don't know, man. Because at the end of the day, all you're doing is just playing your game on the go. You didn't change your game. You didn't bring excitement to your game. I don't know. Maybe he should look into making VR games. I don't know. Like, being able to pull in assets faster, like not making long corridors and shit like that, making your games look, the world looks like a person. Like, okay, you play a game on the Switch and you pop it off and you take it on the go. You're playing the same game, right? Now you create a game that has like a world that the moment you open it up, it's like there are characters doing other things on the screen. AI is super fast. The context and like graphics elements are crazy. The HDR pops in your face. That type of stuff is like groundbreaking the people. When you say groundbreaking, are you talking about what we used to call back in the days gimmicks, or are you talking like visual aspect?
So this is the thing that, I 100% agree, Cloud, because that mindset, I see a lot of people saying, oh, well, the PlayStation and Xbox, the new ones, are just going to be prettier, beefier versions of their old ones. And I'm like, well, yeah, they were. But if people, because they make it seem like people don't care about graphics or new hardware, things like that, then why the hell is the PlayStation 4 one of the top selling systems of all time? Like, it's just people care about those things, and they care about everything around it, like the fact that online play has become a standard feature for all these games and being able to connect with your friends so easily. And like it's like, I don't see how, like, yeah, it's not like a complete drastic 180, but it's something that has become so integrated in our day-to-day lives that that's how we want to play stuff going forward. There's still going to be a lot of people who want to play it. So again, it comes down to, because Nintendo is innovative and they've always done stuff different. I mean, yeah, for every Switch that comes out and it's a success, you also have a Wii that's popular for a while, but then it just ends up in Goodwills or in people's closets, and no one really talks about it after, you know, the fad is worn off. So to me, it's just going to come down to games, and people are just going to go where the games is, you know?
I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, it's always coming down to like, you know, the software, what kind of games do you have that I cannot play on anything else? Microsoft, take notes. But I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, that's what it really comes down to. But I can kind of see his point, where it's like, where's that, the next thing that just really, I guess that next
connectivity
step of gaming, I guess. But Cloud does bring up a point, because we did have VR for PlayStation, and it was good enough, and by good enough I mean it was successful enough, sold a good amount, to where they're continuing that with the PS5, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so I think
even now, to just piggyback that, like even more VRs like Oculus Quest, like a lot of these VRs, they're selling, like they're sold out on the internet. So I don't know, but go ahead.
Oh crap! What was my train of thought?
I'm sorry,
I was saying, just in addition,
to go away.
Maybe not particularly groundbreaking the way we play our games, but the fact that the games will run smoother, feel more seamless. Obviously, they're on PS5 and Xbox Series X, but maybe we'll see like really that next step in VR. Was what I was getting at, and maybe that could be what this man's looking for.
It could be, but at the end of the day, I think it has to come down to the technology is there. What are you doing to really get yourself ahead of the curve? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you say that, oh, there's nothing really that surprising, but you have all these tools available, why aren't you making games for those experiences? That's why I'm kind of like, because like, for example, a lot of these same developers, when the Kinect and the Move and the Wiimote came out, they were hyping it up as something different, something new. I can't wait. And then what happens? 5 years later?
Fucking nothing.
Yeah, nothing. And then 5 years later, they're like, you know what? There was a real big barrier of entry with those peripherals. And it's like the same people saying it too. I'm like, so at the end of the day, people say gamers are very entitled and don't know what they want. But it's got to be some developers too. The ones I've noticed, the people who keep their mouth shut and just do what they do and don't worry about anything else, those are the ones who are coming out with the games, versus the people who are like, oh, you know, I just want something different. Like, what is different? What does different mean? So, because like Claude said, different could be loading up an open world game and then there's no loading screens.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing,
or connectivity. Like the next big experience with the way that these systems, which is based on hardware, based on textures, based on how powerful your system is. Because we're gonna get to it in a minute. Like, as groundbreaking as the Switch is, it's limited as fuck. And because of that, you can't create that many experiences. It's still the same game you're playing on the go, but you're limited by hardware. Let's say the next game is like a cyberpunk game, open world, but the game is so expansive. It's not considered an MMO, but when you launch it up, you're seeing your friends do their missions. and there's no like load screens. There's no like you'll see groups of parties doing their own thing. That could be like the next thing in like improvement. Connectivity. That's the biggest thing in gaming. Connectivity. Not separating yourself and being by yourself in a corner in a room with a handheld in your face. That's not groundbreaking.
No, not groundbreaking, but it is pretty fucking convenient.
Oh, hell yeah. That's how it is. See, Takun, Nintendo fanboy confirmed.
See, yeah. Like Cloud every time goes to the office.
Yeah, the office, y'all. Yo, he be saying that as he's over there on his Animal Crossing village. It's not groundbreaking.
I will say that there are times I wish that there's a Switch like a Switch Pro that's capable, because a lot of these games that or Sony, like me and Taco's been talking about this for a while, like Sony comes out like with this new patent. I'm hearing that they're going to do a hybrid system that's like sparks like in graphic and detail that I could actually play these games somewhere else. Like if Sony came out with a hardware that's way more powerful and way more capable, right, and the same price, right, or $100 or $50 more, it's gonna force Nintendo to be like, fuck, okay, now they're gonna be able to say that I can take my PlayStation games of next gen on the go with me. So yeah, I could see that convenience, because there's a lot of times I want to play games, but I don't really have time to sit down on the living room anymore, man.
Yeah. Oh, and Sony's got you working, man. You go everywhere.
He doing the most.
Sony says jump, you say how high.
Exactly.
Am I taking a plane to get this high?
Pretty much.
But you brought up a great point, Dark Cloud, and that actually leads us into our next two topics, because they are all about the Switch, its performance, its resolution, because we're coming up on close to, not yet, but 3.5 years of the Switch being out, which is crazy to think about. Like, it just feels like yesterday when the system launched. I can't even.
That's right. It's already been over 3 years. 3 years and some change.
Yeah, exactly. So we're starting to see more games come to the system. We're starting to see more third-party games. One game in particular, because I want to touch on this one first, even though it's not next in the docket, because it was a big third-party release that a lot of people were excited about. The Outer Worlds. You know, it came out last fall on the other consoles, and it came to the Switch about 6 months later. It was actually scheduled to come, I believe, a little bit earlier, but with the pandemic situation happening, it pushed it back, which is fine. It's finally out now, and
is it out now or is it out tomorrow?
Well, it's out tomorrow, but some people are posting their videos and all that stuff. Comes out June 5th for those wondering. And let's just I'll just say this much. It's a game that released on the Nintendo Switch.
I mean, I guess if you want to say you did something for the sake of doing it, it happened.
the participation trophy.
Right. You were so concerned with whether or not you could, you didn't stop to think whether or not you should.
You should. Actually, I'll hold that thought for 1 second. I'll be right back, but you can keep talking.
Right. Yeah, so even when it came down to Digital Foundry, they even said, like, just because you can doesn't necessarily mean you should. Like, I get it. There are people that's going to want to play this on the go. There are going to be people that buy this and play this on the go. But I mean, I usually attack Digital Foundry because, like, you literally have to look for a 200% zoom in order to see this difference. Mm-hmm. But you launch this game, you're like, whoa, hold on a minute. Maybe I need to look for an update. You know when you launch a YouTube video and it's in like 1080p and you're waiting. Yeah, and it's SD and you want it to buffer? Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's I watched the video. The frame rate's terrible. Not only that, but they promised 1080. They promised 1080.
Did they promise 1080? I thought they just promised 720.
They promised 1080 dock and 720p.
Oh, that's rough, buddy. Oh, I would not be making any promises like that. Boys and girls don't make any promises you can't keep. There was no way they were getting away with that. But, to be fair, technically the game does launch tomorrow on the 5th, and there's a day one updates that none of the videos would have taken account for. And
which is why
maybe there is some sort of miracle witchcraft within that day one updates. I would not count on it, though.
But hold up. I gotta be fair. I gotta be fair. There's the game that I got on the Switch a while back. It was mutants. It was a mutant RPG game, and when it first came out, like when the game came out, it didn't have the day one patch, and it looked like straight trash. Like there was textures, lighting was absolutely garbage. And then after the day one patch, the game looked way better, ridiculously better. And my thought was like, this shouldn't have been a day one patch. It should have been there the moment the game launched. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I can find the video. As you talk about it, I'm going to see if I can find that video.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, it makes me wonder how early they start printing physical copies, given, you know, how many day one patches we see and how dramatic the day one patches are. So I'm guessing, like, physical copies start printing, like, mad early, especially if you're expecting to, like, sell millions of something. That's like the only thing I could really take a stab at there.
Dude, like, yeah, all right. I'm gonna put the video in the chat. Dude, it's like night and day difference, bro. Like at the beginning of the video, like this if they do this has to be like a reason for them to stop doing this bullshit of like launching games without day one patches. Or if they're having concerns of limited hard drive space or cartridge,
Yep.
then they need to change that. I posted it, dude. Look, even before you even start the video,
I can see it there in the screenshot. Holy shit!
It was ridiculous, bro.
Oh,
Lighting,
man,
textures,
that
everything.
left one is a PS2 game, without a shadow of doubt in my mind.
So I'm not gonna say that they can't do it. I can't. I'm not gonna say they can't do it. But this is just another example of, I don't think that if you know your game's day one patch is going to change the way it looks after it launches, you need to send out some sort of article or some sort of PR statement for everyone.
Yeah,
exactly. Some sort of heads up to the guys that's going to post this shit. Because look at that video. Because the guys that did Mutant Year Zero, they didn't say anything about the day one patch. They didn't even talk about it. It was after they saw the video and people were knocking the game, they launched that day one patch.
When it started to affect their sales, you gotta give us a heads up. People have already made up their minds by the time the game launches, more or less. Let's see here. Go into the chat real quick. Yes.
Bad Latency said that Alien Isolations on Switch is arguably better than the PlayStation 4, which is true.
Oh, I did not even know that. Well, no. I think I did watch a video on that a while ago, but I just didn't care because I don't play that game. Warlock, 720p, but it'd be like that. Okay.
I'm not a fan of Hellblade, so I'd have to look that one up.
Yeah. No, Bad Latency is right, though. There are more demanding games that have come out on Switch that run better. So I'm really guessing that at least the day one patch will get the game runnable. At the very least, fingers crossed.
I should hope so, but dang.
Hey, did you see I posted it in the chat? Neo. So on the Discord. Yeah. So we're talking about like not this launching without day one patches, and I've shown an example of Mutant Year Zero. Look at the video before you even click on it. This is day one without. This is the people that got the game before it got the patch.
Oh my god, bro!
I had the same reaction. Don't even worry.
God,
don't even worry about it.
So I'm not gonna say that there might not be a day one patch, but they got to stop releasing these games that they know for a fact needs a day one patch.
That's what I'm so confused at. Like how. I love how the video right next to it is Mutant Year Zero Switch review still buggy. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to question like. From when these games go exactly, yes, you have to question everything. You got to question from when these games go gold to when they release. Like, why? I'm confused at why you would need a day one patch. So you were literally, this is what the game looked like, and then you did that patch to make it look better. Like, I don't know how that works.
Like you probably missed it, but what I was saying to Takun was that when Mutant Year 01, when it launched, No one said anything about like they saw how bad it looked. The developers never said anything about a day one patch coming. They didn't say it was going to change textures or anything. Only after they realized how bad people were bashing it, because these videos came out a week before it launched, and then they saw it, and then they were like, "Oh, there's a day one patch." Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. Like, I'm looking at some of the comments, people bashing Kotaku for ripping the game for having bad visuals. I'm like, bro, why shouldn't you?
Yeah.
My God, but
Look,
that's what kind of scares me, man.
As a Nintendo guy, you're not allowed to be a graphics whore, but you gotta draw the line somewhere.
Yeah.
Until it's a game like Super Mario Odyssey that like runs at like 60 frames or something, then you can hype it up.
First of all, shooters shouldn't be 30. Better yet, shooters shouldn't be under 20.
Yeah.
So a game like this, where you have to aim down the sights and you're dealing with frame rates, you're dealing with bad textures, you're dealing with bad input lag, and you're dealing with assets loading in, bro, like you're going to die a shit ton of times because of not you, but because of how bad the game is.
How bad the game runs. Not even how
so
bad
what else did Virtuos work on? I know they did Dark Souls Remaster, which outside of the compressed audio, it was actually a good port. I enjoyed playing it.
I don't know what else they did.
Hold up, let me pull it up. It has a list of the things they worked on in the article. Virtuos, blah blah blah.
God,
Let's see, Dark Souls, Outer Worlds, and I guess SOCOM 2, which is not out yet.
SOCOM 2?
Oh, okay. They did Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Wait, SOCOM 2?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, SOCOM 2? Like, what about SOCOM 2? I know they didn't develop that. Like,
no, they didn't develop it, but they're going to port it to the Switch.
Wait, we're talking about SOCOM.
SOCOM, the PlayStation exclusive.
No, not SOCOM. XCOM. My bad.
Oh, XCOM. Okay. Yeah, you said SOCOM. I was like, wait what?
Bro, I'm hearing some good things about XCOM on Switch. The only problem that they have on it is I think it's like 40 gigs or some weird shit.
Yeah, all the
my goodness.
All the freaking 2K games, they're very big on the Switch. So you're gonna need that micro SD card. But I played Bioshock. Well, I didn't play it, but I watched people play it. It looks very good. Yeah, everyone's just over here in the chat like, wait,
my bad, guys. I'm sorry.
Yo,
we thought Takun broke something.
No. Please don't let me break the internet. I don't want no articles about this.
24. Yes, XCOM 2 is 24 gigs.
Wow.
That's still a lot. Isn't that basically how much what was that DC Universe
First of all,
online?
That game shouldn't need that much download space. It's a fucking it's an RTS.
They're getting pretty close to the size that they're on the other systems, which I find weird because they don't have all the assets that the other systems do.
And the textures aren't as high of a quality, so they don't have that much, file space they're taking up. I don't know. It's weird.
So I'm gonna break out my Sony fanboy hat right quick. So you see what you just said, Neo.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why you need a faster drive is because one of the things you can gain from a faster drive and pulling assets is lower storage per game. Because they have to create so many pathways and so much storage path and assets grabbing, your game ends up taking up more storage size because the game has to do more work just to play.
And that's why a lot of these developers we're seeing are so excited about the newer architecture because that means less work.
But you know who's a fucking G at compressing games but never teaches people? Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh, facts. That Nintendo freaking algorithm they got.
Nintendo wizards.
They need to have like a teaching class, like them and.
I'm telling you, man. All they have to do is show up and do a GDC presentation, like straight up,
on how to compress games, how to do audio. They need to learn from Sony on how to do audio. Other than that, they need to teach everybody on how to compress.
Well, to be fair on some of those things, Nintendo Switch doesn't you can't output it to a what's it called, a proper theater setup. Like it doesn't have one of the inputs, right?
Not only that, bro. There's games that I've played. What game was I playing where I'm like, I have a whole Atmos theater setup, and I'm like, when I start to pop in some of these Switch games, and I'm only hearing my two stereos, I'm like, hold on, is something broken?
See, yeah. There's something broken?
Yeah, the
So
Switch.
you go look, and it's like, yeah, one of the biggest things they take away. Look at that. Audio takes up a lot of storage, and then the game end up being just as large because they compress the storage.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So they don't have to worry about, because the thing was, like it or hate it, Sony and Microsoft and these developers, they cater to that crowd, the people who have the theater setups, and they like to get the pristine audio video. Like I was always wondering, like, why are these games taking up so much storage and space? And then I got my 4K TV and I played Gears of War 4 with the HDR, and then I was like, oh
Yeah.
that's why. I was like, oh, that's why. Because you're not just getting 1080p and it scales, it's the actual assets.
Yep. Dude, but you know what though? Nintendo games could gain a lot from some of the Nintendo games. Imagine playing Eternal Darkness with a freaking home theater setup.
Oh my god, please no. Bro, I don't even be playing Resident Evil with the theater setup. Hell no.
He said, "No, we don't mess with those double games with surround sound, man. We don't."
Nah, fam, I just don't. Like right now, I'm playing.
Even Splatoon with the Atmos, at least 5.1 would be amazing.
Wait, they don't have 5.1?
I don't think so. I think I only hear stereo.
Oh my
man,
god! Hold up, let me pull up the settings right now. I'm pretty
get
sure
up
it's
and get
stereo
them
and
settings.
mono, but let me check.
Get them settings. Stereo and monitor? Oh god, this ain't good.
That's a part of the Nintendo. It's stereo and mono. I think there's one that says surround.
Yeah. Oh, there is a surround sound. Yep, I have it up have it up right now.
Like I've been spoiled by that 7.1. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. You got stereo, mono, surround sound.
Like I was playing like even on my PC, I'm playing like not old PC games, but I'm playing Spec Ops: The Line right now, and I put that 7.1 surround, and just when I'm moving my my cursor throughout the world, just hearing all the audio and how it moves, just like what? It's crazy.
You want to know what game it was? It just hit me. Astral Chain was only 2.0, not even 2.1.
God, we gotta move on.
That game yet.
We gotta move on because we're just gonna be sitting here just regretting our purchase. So, did you just cover Outer Worlds or did you do Xenoblade?
We did Xenoblade yet. I mean, I've been advertising Xenoblade this whole time. It's been up on the screen.
Yeah. So Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition just hit the Switch last Friday, and you know it's a momentous occasion, especially if you have been on the internet as long as we have, and just remembering the movement Operation Rainfall. There was a period of time where Nintendo, guys, just to put into perspective how little Nintendo cared about Xenoblade, they opted to localize it only in Europe, and we had to beg for North American localization. Like when I say beg, we had to go online, and mind you, this is before Twitter hashtags. This is before anything. We had to mail shit to Nintendo, letters saying we want this game. This is before any type of community organizing was around for gaming.
Oh yeah. How do we organize? It was like Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, it was Facebook. You had the Facebook groups because that's back when the Facebook groups were like the shit, you know?
Yeah.
So
Before
we had to
cancer.
organize groups. Yeah, exactly. So we had to organize groups and do videos, and that's how we got the game over. And even then, they did not care about Xenoblade. Oh, no, because they made it a GameStop exclusive.
They made a GameStop exclusive. There was like little to no advertisement for it. They literally did nothing to the localization as far as I'm aware, because it was literally the UK version, which is fine. And that's why you have all your accents in Xenoblade now, which I'm perfectly okay with. But they literally put in like zero effort. And yeah, here we are now with the, I think, fourth release of this game, because we had the Wii, we had the 3DS, there was the digital one on the Wii U, and then
they on the Wii U. That's right.
Yeah, it was on the Wii U, and then now we have Definitive Edition, and then you think about how we got Xenoblade Chronicles X and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So it became kind of a big deal, but this was a game that Nintendo thought was literally it was not even worth their effort to bring over a finished game, because it was already done, like it was in English, all that good jazz that Neo just covered. Like it was literally on a silver platter, and they're just like, no, It's not even worth printing the copies, is what they were telling us.
It was out. Okay, to put in perspective, y'all, because this game came out in 2010 in Japan, and then back then is when it wasn't really Operation Rainfall yet, but there were people saying, "Wow, this," because 2010 was the last year for the Wii where we got like really consistent quality releases. After that, 2011, there was only a few games that came out, and then 2012, that shit was dead. But the reason why so many people were going hard about it was because there's like nothing on the docket, you know? Like 2011 was only Skyward Sword, and I think that might have been the biggest game that released in 2011. I think
that was like about the only big release during that time.
Right. So they finally decide to localize it in Europe only, and then literally guys, from the localization announcement to when we got it, it was 4 months. Like 4 months. They waited until like the absolute last minute, and it's I mean, I'm not here to basically say it's funny that Nintendo is now hyping it up, because I'm glad, because more Xenoblade love the better. But again, this is where I'm kind of like, I don't necessarily think it's the hardware's fault that it's running the way it is, because I think it's more of an engine optimization issue.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, the game is how old, and it was designed for the Wii. So, I mean, there's only so much you can do to like modify it for a newer system before you're just remaking it entirely.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like, obviously, some of these textures and assets are completely redone, but as far as like the actual coding, like there's only so much you can really tweak before you have to say like screw this and like literally just delete everything and start coding from scratch. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. So they did put a lot more work into it. It's not just a simple port, but the optimization, again, it's got the same problems as Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I've heard conflicting things. Some people say it's a CPU issue with the Switch because open world games. Other people say it's just the engine. I'm leaning more towards the engine and the fact that monoliths, like, even though they have a ton of people working, they only put a fraction to work on. Like Xenoblade 2, I think only had like 40 people working on it. Xenoblade 2.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was like 40 it was less than 100. I remember that much. So if they did the same for this one, yeah, exactly. And it is a very in-depth game too. It's got a lot going for it. But in terms of optimization, it's just not, I don't know. I mean, because the thing is, I'm spoiled because, you know, other games, like Skyrim, for example, is a huge, vast open world game. And that game runs great on the Switch. The Witcher 3 runs better than Xenoblade on the Switch. And that is a current gen game, more CPU intensive, you know. So it's just, it's like dynamic 720p for something that honestly I think should have been 1080p 30 at the least, you know.
Not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, it seems kind of like, why, you know, like I feel like we should deserve better. Like, I mean, I was even thinking it might pull like a Breath of the Wild, because remember when Breath of the Wild first came out, it was kind of rough, you know, it was kind of choppy. I don't even think it was 1080p when it came out, but when they released the patches, it stabled itself out and it runs good. But with this, oh, that's all I can really say.
Yep,
Give me
I
a
hear
second.
that.
I'm reading something. I'm sorry.
Nah, you good.
Wait, what class say?
No, I was reading something.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, Skyrim. I know a lot of people in the community didn't buy Skyrim on Switch. I bought it, and I was pleasantly surprised with how well it ran. I mean, it's a 360 game, so it's like, how else? So it's like this weird in between. It's better than the 360 version, but it's not as good as the remastered one they put out. So they'll have like the textures for water and stuff like that, but they won't have everything. So but it ran great. Like, it was good.
oh yeah, that was another thing that kind of bothered me about Xenoblade, is like the things they like pick and choose to upgrade was like very weird to me. Like a lot of things in general, you can clearly see a night and day difference. But then if I traveled somewhere from here and like went to a waterfall, let me see if I can find one. Hold on. It looks like it came straight from the Wii. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and certain character like facials, like especially in the beginning when you look at not Dunban, but that guy, what the hell was his name? The one who was
Ryan?
Not Ryan. The guy who was like gonna betray you.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot his name, but he literally he literally looks like he came straight out of the Wii version, whereas Dunban looks great.
Where everyone else looks like brand new.
Yeah, so it's just things like that. It's like,
Okay, yeah. So I'm coming up on this waterfall here. You can kind of see it in the distance, and I thought it was a distance thing, but I'm gonna get close. I'm gonna get real close, like Crocodile Dundee, like
straight up.
approaches.
What? There's a waterfall. It's one of the lowest textures in the entire game.
It has to be, dude. The closer I get, the worse it is.
It's not that bad.
Oh, that's not
hold
bad,
on. You say that.
He says the closest, so that's why I'm
Yeah,
kind of
and
scared.
the stream's delayed from what you guys are saying versus.
It looks kind of better when we get close to it. What are you talking about?
No.
Sir, I think Takun is just
fam.
He's an HD fanboy.
Nah, fam.
I don't know. It don't look that bad. Let's see. You said it's delayed. Put this stream in the 1080.
Fam. What is this?
Like, let's see. All right, chat, hit the verdict. Does this really look that bad? Does this really look that bad? Come on. You see, Takun, he's
Look
doing
at
the
this.
He's getting all the way. It looks like smoke. I don't know.
Okay,
Juicy broccoli.
whatever.
Okay. It looks
What
like
were we
there's
talking
not
about?
that much. It looks like there's not much water. It looks like he said it's a roll of clear tape. All right, you know what? I have to. Oh God. Okay, yeah. See, now you're just being disingenuous. Come on, Takun. That's not fair.
You talking about me?
Yeah, who's gonna go up to the waterfall like that?
Me. I get that close up to the waterfall. I look if there's anything behind it, or like when I was on top of this, and I was like,
feel
"Oh,
you.
let me see how the waterfall looks." And then I was like standing on the waterfall, looking down. I was like, "It looks like ass." Like I came all the way up here for nothing.
You know what happens like? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Hey, whoa. Are you questioning
Exactly.
me and my ass sightings throughout my life?
Hey, it is what it is. 2020. You know,
Hey, man.
do what you do. But in all seriousness, though, it's just it just like I was thinking. All right,
I'm
you know
just
what?
saying, next to everything else that has clearly seen a facelift, like what is this?
Yeah, it's like y'all choosing the weirdest shit to upgrade.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
but
you'll see things like that throughout the game where like everything looks like it belongs here, and then there's that one thing that's very obviously out of place.
It's like what?
Yeah. So, I mean, the game's still good. A lot of the changes they made are very good, quality of life, convenient kind of stuff for sure.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. If you have not played Xenoblade, this is the best version to get. You're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Going into it, I mean, it can seem a little grindy in the beginning with some of the side quests and everything. Like it, I'm not gonna say that the quests are bad, but like we've just been spoiled by some of these games that have really good side quests. So go
The
into
side
it.
quest in this game is not that great. It's tedious.
See,
Yeah, I
there you
remember
go.
the game came out like
2010.
10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody about this, and so I haven't played this game since I beat it on Wii and then the 3DS, right? And I'm like, when you see people sit there and say that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is trash and the combat system is garbage, I launched this game and I'm like, did they not play the first game?
Yo, you know what's funny? Oh man, because we can bring that up in a whole discussion. When I got Xenoblade 2 and I played the combat system, I didn't think it was trash. I just thought it was very dull and monotonous. But if I had to compare the two, like 2's combat, when you get the hang of 2's combat, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a little more clunky. Like I even had to go and adjust the control.
No, but they're saying that people are saying that the combat system is weird. It's not like the first one. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
It's got the DNA. It's got the DNA there. It's just
people's nostalgia
easier to
be
use.
trippy
Second one is just
sometimes.
Yeah, the second one is just people looked at the menu and they thought like, yo, what is this? This is so confusing. And it's like, but all those things, they have a purpose. So I understand, like the second one's combat is a lot more rewarding and the quests are a lot more fulfilling. It's just one of those things where I think nostalgia.
Like if you did like quests and stuff, like it did something to the village and stuff like that. These don't you build like affinity, but what did it do?
Not much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or Cloud, like we talked one time. Remember when people were smack talking Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate on the Switch thing? It's like it's an up-res 3DS game, and then we're like, no, me and Cloud put in like a few hundred hours into Monster Hunter 3DS, and it's like this is definitely a step up.
Oh,
Exactly.
it's a step up. Yeah, it's not just a straight port. I mean, you look at it like a definitive version, but going from the 3DS to the Switch, even in terms of visuals, it's still going to look a lot better.
Oh yeah, no, but it was clear that they had put in work to
Yeah.
actually redo some things. Nothing like dramatic, but it clearly was not like the same textures that they had
I don't think
used.
people realize what the 3DS was like. That thing was like what 240p.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't think people like. I was even thinking about going back and replaying some games, but I was like, I can't do that. It's just a little too.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, that thing came out 2011, so you know the hardware inside it's way older than that. So
Like for me, what kind of it's the 3DS games that kind of push the boundaries that I'm very skeptical on replaying. You know what I'm saying? It's the 3DS games that kind of wanted to look like console games that I kind of don't like going back and playing. I like the more traditional, like when they remade, like when they remake RPGs and they put them on handhelds, but they keep like the same aesthetic. I like those because I feel like they age better than something that's like, wow, why did you put this on the system? Like if I'm being real, do we really need Xenoblade Chronicles on the 3DS?
oh
No.
yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah. I beat it there too. I'm like, I was like, I might as well. I'm bored.
See, that's how you know Cloud's a hardcore gamer. He said, I don't give a fuck if the faces are like 3 pixels. I'll play this and beat this
Oh, it
game on
was
3DS.
horrible, bro. It was disgusting.
Dude, it was so bad. Like I looked at a thumbnail comparison that someone just put up between the 3 versions, and it had them and the thumbnail like which one is which, and I was like, I can tell which one's the 3DS. I can tell, and it was just the
Trust
Monado.
me, I don't need you to ask the question.
That's the Monado. I was like, I can tell that's the 3DS.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, but yeah, shout out to all the Xenoblade fans.
Yep. Shout out
Facts.
to Cloud for beating it on 3DS when, oh my goodness, like
Yo,
you think about the amount of UI is on the screen, like it had to
Please
fit
no.
all that onto the 3DS and with like super low res. Oof.
it was a demake.
Kind of was when you think about it, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right. So next topic, which it goes against everything that we talked about. Saber CEO says there's still untapped power in the Nintendo Switch hardware. Saber, as y'all know, were the people behind The Witcher 3 on the Switch, in addition to a couple of other games before, and they're doing World War Z soon. And they're basically saying that, yeah, the Switch, comes down to basically what you do with it, what you do with the hardware. And it's true. I mean, honestly, like the ports that they've put out, like Witcher 3, for example, I know it gets a lot of flack because of the resolution and downgraded textures, but it still runs stable. And you can actually play Witcher 3 on the Switch. Is it the best way? No, but they spent a year of time working on that port. They spent a whole year developing it and trying to find ways to make things work. And for what they did, I have to applaud them because they pushed it to its absolute limits. But again, to the same degree, there's just some games that they do require particular hardware. That I don't think that's too mean to say, is it?
I think with when it comes down to the Switch in general, like they got to think about like making games from the ground up for it versus a port that was made for something else. Because remember, Switch is made like afterthought, not even the same conversation. Afterthought.
True.
Facts.
And I don't even mind that. Like when Ubisoft came out with Mario plus Rabbids, I was just like, yo, we need to see more third parties make these exclusive kind of games than put out and try to dumb down something else. Like I know there's a lot of people I know on the Switch who picked up that Assassin's Creed remaster collection, which came out before. Yo.
I
Hey,
was immediately offended.
why?
It looked horrible.
No, it didn't, bro. I have that. It looks fine.
No.
Yes, Cloud. Listen, this ain't the Outer Worlds here.
Oh,
They ran good on the Switch. What are you talking about?
Nah, man. I saw those screenshots.
Outer Worlds is
no,
now
it looks like
slang for
PS3.
ugly Switch game confirmed.
Yo, look, exactly. Can you imagine the Outer Worlds is now the bar? It used to be Ark. Now it's Outer Worlds.
Dude, Ark on the Switch was like the first time I saw it, like I was like, okay, are they showing like the assets of the game or is this the game?
It ran at like
Oh,
76p.
Yo, oh my god.
But yeah, so that Assassin's Creed collection was pretty good. And I know a lot of people who played it, but at the same time, like just the older I get, listen, I know some people only want to own one system, but you can't own one Nintendo console and expect to get everything. I'm just being real. You have not been able to do that for generations. Yeah.
No, you can't.
I was about to say the last time you could do that was Super Nintendo. So
You gotta own like at least a Switch PC or a Switch PlayStation, something. It's a great complementary device for exclusives, and hell, I'll do you one better. There are games that I didn't pick up on the PS4 that I got on the Switch because I missed them on the PS4 because there was too much shit to play, and they work great on the Switch. But I don't see how people if I'm being real, if you have a PS4 and you have a Switch, like how you come out here saying, "Damn, I missed playing The Witcher 3 on the PS4, but I got it on the Switch." I'm like, what were you doing for 5.5 years?
Playing The Witcher.
I gotta question that. Like, how do you all of a sudden, I don't get that. Like it's one thing if your life changed and you got a Switch and that's how you game. Okay, I get it. That was me. That was me for a legit like 2 years, right? But when you have a console and you have the time to play it, and you're over here saying like it's a good thing, I don't know. To me it seems very strange.
See, for me,
I'm not gonna be mean because some of those people may not have the time to like even a person like let's say Kofi. Kofi beats a shit ton of Switch games because he doesn't do anything at work. Yeah. So for a person like him that's like working consistently at work and not having to do much at work to play his games, he'll have more time to play a game. So like you gotta admit, like I'm pretty sure there'd be more people that would beat Persona 5 if it was on the Switch.
Oh no, Cloud, I understand that. I do. I'm talking about the people I'm talking about the people in this community who got the time. Yeah, all of a sudden it comes to Switch, you're like, damn, this game was out for this console for years. I played this console religiously. I picked it on the Switch and I was like, man, this is crazy. This game is great, man. Get out of here.
You need to get slapped for that one.
Like exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it's just. Yo, thank you, Warlock, over here saying Assassin's Creed 4 is nice on it. You see, I'm telling you, Dark Cloud don't know.
Oh, crap. I accidentally entered a story scene. Shit.
Shit.
I was purposely just dicking around the entire time. I didn't want any spoilers, but close your eyes if you plan on playing Xenoblade and you don't want anything spoiled.
I thought this was pre-recorded footage. I didn't know you were playing this shit live. Damn.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yo, Takun the multitasker. All right. So, this one is very strange. Nintendo has filed another quality of life patent. Now, I have no idea what this is because every time I see these patent reports, I get so confused.
Oh, Nintendo patents are by far some of the strangest we see in the gaming industry.
Definitely.
So, let me see if I can decipher this real quick.
Some of you may remember over the last few years, Nintendo has briefly talked about its plans to branch out into the health sector.
Yep.
One option that's cropped up is the mention of a quality of life offering, something shelved after Iwata passed.
All right, Neo, I'm gonna send something in the chat. But go ahead, you talk. This is about the M Classic.
Okay, cool. The patent is for an information processing system designed to provide a user with motivation for continuously performing measurement of health. Device that aims to detect heart rate, respiration, and other biological information via sensor. Oh, so they're bringing back the Wii Vitality sensor. Let's get it.
Oh, yeah, that. So, blah, 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 blah. Patent goes on to describe device, aims to detect heart rate.
So that's without it.
So, it looks like that might not have been shelved or scrapped entirely. So, And it makes sense because I remember, what was it? Last year they announced Pokemon Sleep. Remember that?
Look at the yeah.
I'm looking. Oh God.
Yeah, you look at the distance between look at the distance between I forgot Cheryl, her name is, between him with it and without it. Even the distance between like the rock formation. About? I forget. I don't know these characters' names, man.
Shulk?
No, not Shulk.
How many times did you beat this game, Cloud?
Hey,
I got a question. Like, can we pull up that playtime? You left it on the start screen.
No, did you plat the game though?
Nah, so like if you look at like the one with it, look at the rock formation in the distance and the textures of the tree, or even just in general, like the depth. It's not crazy, but it adds 3D depth to it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's a little sharper.
Yeah.
Oh well,
and
some of us are busy playing the game instead of just staring at screenshots.
I'm playing the game.
He is. We got that same armor too.
Oh,
but yeah,
I just put all the aesthetic armor on there. Everyone looks all futuristic and shit.
Nice. Oh no, she's got to be nude.
Oh,
beach outfits only. Cloud says.
That's all we do. But yeah, so this is interesting, but at the same time, I'm gonna file it under, the many patents that all these companies come up with, and then just never do anything with them. They just do them because they're always researching and developing stuff. Like the stuff that we see that gets put to market. I know Dark Cloud can probably add some insight on this. We only see like, what would you say percentage-wise of the stuff that we see now for every PlayStation 4 console that comes out? Like, how much R&D do you think they've done into different versions of that?
Say that last part again.
So like for every like new thing that they come out with, like let's say a PlayStation 4, how much money do you think that Sony has spent developing around it, like different ideas?
Oh, dude. First off, you got to think of R&D for the system. Then you got to think of bulk that they're going to buy, because let's say if they're going to make like 6 million, like for the first launch window, they have to basically pay for that as well within that bulk. And then even after that, they have to basically pay for marketing. Then they got to pay to have like they got to pay for NDAs to be signed for groups of people that are on top, that are going to be on the project to make the system and work with it. So it's tons of money that goes into it. And then developers that's making games, they have to basically pay for licensing fee, and then it's a lot of money. So I would say, I don't even want to guess, but like at least 20 million just to do R&D alone in the beginning parts of it.
Jesus.
That's just testing it.
Real
remember, because they don't buy the first system in bulk. The first iteration of it made, like the first prototype, is full price. Then they're like, okay, all this works. Now let's pay for the bulk and all of that shit.
Yeah, like when they come out with clothing samples, they usually pay like for something that'll cost you. Let's say you buy a shirt for like $40, they'll probably pay like 120 right off the rip, or maybe even more. It's insane.
Yeah, so there's a lot of art, especially when you're like doing globally. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're doing global announcements and global like manufacturing, and then just it's going to be even more money. Because remember, Microsoft doesn't spend that type of money because they're not global like that.
Right. They're only concentrated in maybe like a handful of markets versus Sony, which has got US, it's got all of Europe, it's got Asia, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sony's pretty strong across all the regions. As opposed
it was so surprising. I mean, because since we follow this stuff, but we're not in the actual company, so we don't know how it is. I was so surprised to see like how much of an imprint the PlayStation brand has, because you hear it when you're talking to gamers, but it's another thing entirely when you see like all these regular schmegular people coming up with memes about PS4 versus Xbox, and I'm just like, oh wow.
Yeah, like even when it comes to it, like when the Xbox was announced, right? Like even though it's stupid funny jokes, people aren't saying like, "Oh, my girlfriend's gonna get me this. What can I get my man to do to get?" No one was doing that for Xbox.
Nobody was doing that. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's perceived
Those are
worldwide,
some of
man.
the best names, though. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
That's the best.
Let's go
Yeah,
to-
seriously.
See, hold on.
I love seeing
I'm reading
those.
the chat because someone's telling me how to actually play the fucking game because I'm an idiot.
Oh shit!
Uh-huh. Coming at
Yo.
me and can't even play the game.
Hey, I wasn't the guy
on
come
top of
out
that-
saying, "Hey, I beat this game twice and I even beat it on 3D." I mean, hold
Yeah, I
on. The
forgot
last time you beat it was on 3DS, so that
bro.
explains why you don't know her name. You couldn't beat it
snap,
on the
yo,
3DS
Takun
screens.
getting heated. Oh, he said, yo. Yo.
Yo, dude, I screwed up on Charlotte's name. Stop it.
See, this is why I keep my mouth shut, man. I don't say nothing.
Why is my Monado thingy not going up?
So we got Dark Cloud who left the game on the start screen, and then we have Takun here who just watched other
First of
people
all,
do playthroughs.
Takun is a disgrace to this game. He plays it in first person.
Whoa! I just realized that.
You know
Oh,
what?
shit.
Hold on. I'm going back to first person now that you said it.
That's disgusting.
What are you talking about? It's the future.
So wait,
Ew.
is first person even in the combat too?
Yeah. You can do it.
Everything.
Oh my god! Cause so Takun, you play GTA 5 in first person?
I don't play GTA.
But if you
Takun
did-
only plays Nintendo games, and if it's not a Nintendo game, it's Monster Hunter. He'll follow that game wherever. And if it's not Monster Hunter, it's Tales games.
Oh, there we go. Yo, Takun, you played Berseria?
Fuck yeah, I did, man. That one
That's
is
what I
so
like.
slapped on.
Yo, it is.
It's
You know what it
the
is,
best in the whole series.
dude? Honestly, you know,
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm trying to think.
Put your bias
combat-wise,
aside.
really-
Put the nostalgia aside because I had to
I'm
do
not.
that.
No, listen. Tales games and nostalgia, they do not age well. They don't. They really don't.
You put the
Like
nostalgia
I tried
aside.
going back. I tried going back and playing. The furthest I can go back is Abyss. I can't go back further than Abyss
I could.
because Abyss is still. I can't go back to Symphonia. That
Damn,
shit feel
I'm
weird.
just pressing the B button because I was adjusting my earbuds. Ain't this a bitch?
Uh-huh.
Yo, I don't even know how that made sense for a second. He said he missed pressing the B button. Yo, I
Yeah,
don't
because you know they have the timing when like the B button shows up on the
Yeah.
screen. Yeah,
Okay, cool guy. Okay, cool guy.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, were there any other topics we had to hit?
No,
Or was that it?
that's kind of it. Unless anyone had any closing comments, but
Uh,
dope podcast. Everybody that came through and all that. I don't know if Takun had anything he wanted to add.
No, I was just saying since Pharaohs isn't here, you know, his idea that he had brought up was what grinds your gears.
Oh yeah, we can still do that. So people like that.
Yeah.
Basically, what it is something in the gaming community that you hate that they do. Like, you know, like it grinds your gears. Like why the fuck are they still doing that?
It can be
So wait.
developers, it can be gamers, whatever you want, man.
Okay, so anything involved in gaming that really pisses you off.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
All right, so go for it, man.
Something that really pisses me off. Well, I want to stray away from like the
Oh my
fanboy
goodness,
stuff.
I should have read the things on screen.
Yo, Takun, man, if you weren't in first person, maybe you could see it.
No, I was talking about before I went to the fight. Like
Oh,
they
okay.
always tell you how to do the fight before you do the fight, and I'm just like, I don't need to read, and then I do.
I thought you were a Xenoblade god. What happened?
Oh no, I never claimed to be a Xenoblade. You think about Ultra.
Oh yeah, Ultra be killing me. He had like 82 hours in Monster Hunter like the day after it came out.
Ultra has over 2,000 hours in freaking Splatoon, my nigga.
Yeah.
I know, I
Come
saw it.
on.
He goes hard in that shit. But all right, okay. So I want to stay away from people who, you know, fanboy stuff because fanboys always do the wild stuff. But if I'm talking about, something that pisses me off royally.
It doesn't have to be
damn.
royally. Just anything that's happening now that gets to you, or
I'm trying to think because you know what the weird thing is the older I get, I don't get pissed off as much stuff before. Maybe it's because I don't have the same amount of time, or maybe because I'm older, I can't exert that same energy. But I would honestly probably say that just the amount of people out there who, I mean, just the audacity of hype that goes around to certain things, you know, like people level so much hype for something and they never end up playing those games. And I'm just like, wait, what the fuck happened?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like you see that a lot, like people, and it's not even just like the gamers, but people in the industry, you know, because they have deals with certain companies and they go and they hype something to the high heavens and it just comes out and that's it. You know, they don't do nothing. That's all it is. But I would say that because it keeps happening. You know, people keep hyping shit up like with Destiny. You know, it even happened with the second game too. People were like, "Oh no, this one's gonna be better." So I would say that
they did that with Borderlands 3 too.
Yo,
Oh,
Borderlands 3 for a game that came out, that game just came out and that was it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the games that just have all the hype and build up in the world, and then as soon as they're released, they're instantly under the rug. Yeah.
Nice. But what about y'all?
I'll let Takun get it.
What was it? It was something I had said earlier. I need to gather my thoughts. I need to let Cloud go first.
All right, so I'm gonna go.
Potato.
It's gonna be related to like what's going on right now, especially with gaming. I am sick and tired of gamers keep pushing their fetishes on people like the whole thing that happened with the PlayStation event. Like people are trying to turn this into like Sony's trying to do this to be profitable. You know, they want all their eyes on the screen instead of looking at the big picture, like all the stuff that's been happening in the past to us, Black Lives Matter. Like no huge companies like PlayStation, Nintendo has ever come out and stood with us, and not once. Instead of just being understanding, they're like, man, fuck that. This is why I don't fuck with PlayStation. Like, it's all about gaming. Like, they should still do the event. People are gonna watch it anyways. It sickens me that people that are like that, they only care about their bottom dollar or their agenda in gaming instead of thinking about the big picture. It really irritates the shit out of me.
Definitely. That shit right there. I mean, because for me, I don't seek validation from any type of company just because, you know, for the most part, they're just like whatever. Mm-hmm. But if they do come out and say something, I'm not going to lambast them for it. And I think it's so funny because these what I don't get is these people, they want these companies to get involved. Yet when they do get involved, they're just like, why are you getting involved?
Yeah, it's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that Cloud brought that up, I did not regain my original thought, but I got a different one that's mo better.
Here we go.
And that's, I mean, hypocrisy in general is just a really good way to get under my skin. But the way Activision Blizzard had done it when they had come out and made their Black Lives Matter statement. You already know where it's going, right? You already know where it's going, right?
Talk it.
Where it's going. So, I mean, they came out and they gave the generic, you know, support Black All Lives Matter, all that stuff. And then I'm like, hold up. Isn't this the same company? Isn't the same company that banned a Hearthstone player for supporting the Hong Kong protests? Isn't this the same company that banned 3 Hearthstone college players because they had, you know, support posters? Isn't the same company that said their CEO came out and said our games and platforms are not to be used for politics and political statements?
Sounds like a fresh server.
This, and the thing is, like, this happened literally like 7-8 months ago. This isn't that far back. This isn't like 5-10 years back. I might have given it a benefit of a doubt. No, this was like 8 months ago, 7 months ago.
Yep. It's still the same people in charge with the same mindset, yet they're doing stuff like, there's certain companies, like I said, I don't care across the board, but there are certain companies that when they speak out, I'm just gonna be like, no. Like the 49ers, when they come out and say Black Lives Matter, I'm like, shut up.
Don't you even.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna see, we've already seen it now, but you're gonna see all these companies coming out and make their, you know, blanket statements. You know, you can tell by the way they word it. If it's not spicy, they're not really about it. Just be on the lookout for these companies that say one thing but have a track record of something else. That's all I'm saying. It's not limited to gaming. It goes across the board. You're going to see a lot more of it. We've already seen a lot of it.
I don't know if you remember before we end the podcast. Do you remember when EA said that gamers would prefer to play their bigger titles on a PlayStation 3 and a PS4 and an Xbox?
Yes.
You know, recently they came out with an article saying that they were wrong, and going forward they're going to start releasing their games simultaneously on the Switch as well.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Isn't it great what money can do?
Wow.
Or I guess when the shareholders foots up your ass.
Because I thought EA, even though their games were selling, they still didn't, care to put games on it.
Yep. I think it was the new CEO or something like that. She came out and said something to basically to go off of that. I'll find the article and I'll post it. But yeah, she came out and said that they were wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, that's a whole market. And even when they put out games, it was like pussyfooting around. Like their sports titles were basically the last year's versions. They were never the competent ones.
Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of it. Unless you guys had anything you wanted to add, as usual, good topics. Neil, thanks for coming through. Very articulate with the way you speak, my man. Just got to do something about that beard.
Yeah, I know, right? Yo, this man,
why hasn't this man joined us before?
We talking about Black Lives Matter up in this shit. Yo, I ain't never met another black man to hate another black man. First off, we're in quarantine. We're in a pandemic, epidemic, whatever you want to call it.
Every black man.
Black Lives Matter. Black man. No, well, sometimes a black man want to be growing out their beard so they can get a full beard for the first time in his life.
Brush it, man. You look like you just came from Africa.
You got a problem with that? You got a problem with that, sir? I'm Ethiopian. Thank you very much.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, so that answers the question then.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Cloud. Like I will fight alongside Takun. He's my brother. Now Cloud be hating on people. We gotta stop this.
Thank
this
you.
is just.
We gotta stick together, Neil.
I don't know. Thank you. I don't know. This man Dark Cloud get 2 rooms in his bathroom.
We gotta look out for our
crazy shit. Thank you, Takun. Like Dark Cloud, he live on the gold toilet where they play Switch games.
Oh, that's true. He lives in his office.
Oh my god.
How's the plumbing in there? Is it pretty good?
Oh, perfect. Put in a new toilet the moment I bought this house.
Cloudy, that dude. His bathroom in Animal Crossing got the gold floor, the gold ceiling, the gold toilet. He got the gold bar sitting there.
I don't understand. Like, I could play the game like that. Like all the stuff that you guys collect, you can't use.
Wait, what do you mean? Well, I'm confused.
Have you played Animal Crossing?
Yeah, no, I played it. What does he mean?
I mean, like, you get a lawnmower, you can't use it. It's just there to look.
Everything's just decoration, is what he's saying. He's not wrong.
Oh, I mean, yeah. The point, like, why you want to mow your grass?
Hey man, make it a sim-like, man. Is it not a sim-like game?
It's just making your town look pretty. That's it.
It's not really a sim. It's not a sim. You have a stove and you can't cook. What is this?
Why would you need to cook?
He said he wants everything there. It's like, yo, if you give me a stove, I'm gonna be expecting overcooked too. You give me a lawnmower.
I don't think Neo follows me that I've been begging for a Sims game. I like games like this.
Oh no, but that's why they have Sims.
Where is it on the Switch?
Not on Switch.
All right then.
Well, why don't you just? You know what you can do? You can play The Sims on PS4 and remote play on your Vita on the toilet.
Oh my god, remote play is trash on the Vita.
It is. I tried. I wanted to like it. I wanted to like it.
Animal Crossing is not a sim. It's more like playing dress up house. That's what it is.
Nah, man. I need a sim, man.
Okay.
You can't see it, but Cloud's over there. Just where the Sims?
I feel like
y'all got any of them life sims?
I never knew I wanted to use a lawnmower in Animal Crossing. That's new though.
Oh my god, here we go.
Oh,
so is it because the weeds? You don't like pulling out the weeds because it is tedious?
See, now we got to add another reason to protest on the dockets.
I understand that. Everyone's protesting about their signs. Cloud's just like, add a lawnmower.
Everyone protesting about real world shit. He's like, why can't I mow my lawn in Animal Crossing? Like,
nah, because I was of the belief they just need to do some more quality of life improvements. But you know what? We're gonna add being able to mow the weeds to the list. Shout out to you, Dark.
Right, you're right. At least they let you use the toilet in the game.
Okay, what's the new movement? What is this? We're going to call it Operation Office in honor of Dark Cloud.
Look, man, I feel like it's the same. It's the same Animal Crossing I played from 3DS and the Wii.
It is.
Well, joke's on you. It's my very first Animal Crossing. So.
Oh, you see, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Dark Cloud over here is like.
I have no standards.
Dark Cloud's over here like I haven't had fun since 1997.
Hold up.
All right, fellas. Good podcast.
Good podcast. Any last words, outros?
Yeah. Well, y'all, thank you for having me on the podcast. Finally, I mean, it's been
Hold
a long
up,
time.
we've been waiting for you on your schedule, Mr.
Yeah, I know. Oh, no, that was
work
me.
23 hours a day.
Works, and he goes to the gym. He's got like, come on, man.
There's a lot. No, but I will say this. I will say this much: the times in which we were all universally free was kind of hard because one of my jobs, it's I work in a restaurant, so you want to be there in the evening time when a lot of people go out.
Okay, yeah.
That was always the problem. But now with the situation happening, everything's chill, relaxed. So drop by on the Final Dash podcast.
There we go. There we go. All right, we got to record the next 10 podcasts back to back before.
Exactly. Before
I
this
need all the Nintendo news to come out right now, so we can just knock it all
literally
out
just
the park.
overflow. It's like we're announcing the Switch 2. All right, let's talk about it.
That's when Baron will come around.
Yeah.
That's when
hybrid
we'll invite Baron
powerhouse
onto the
squared.
podcast.
He was supposed to come on. Where has he been?
I don't know. No one knows where Baron's at. If it's not hating on Sony, we don't know where he's at.
Oh, I bet if you put something in the chat. No. Let me not go there. All right.
Yeah.
This has been Takun. Thank you guys for watching the Final Dash podcast with our guest, Neo Game Spark.
Hey.
Cloud, I'll let you take it away.
Yo, good podcast as usual. Again, it's Nintendo news. It's not everything, but we'll cover even topics sometimes that's not Nintendo, just so we're here more often for you guys. All right, thanks for everyone that's coming through, and I will do a better job at posting when we are doing it, and if we are, I'll post links on Twitter and all that. Again, if you're not following us on Twitter, either follow me at DarkCloud25 on Twitter or follow NeoSpark. He'll tweet it out at times when he's not lifting weights.
Man, I haven't been to the gym in almost 3 months.
Yeah, right. This guy's doing like a 300 push-up challenge in his house every morning.
I wish.
Damn.
I wish, bro.
Kind of jacked.
Or follow
right?
Takun. What's your Twitter?
Takun Hiotari, so it'll be the same as my YouTube.
Neil, what's yours again?
Just Neo Game Spark.
Oh, actually, I updated the description with all of our Twitters, so it's in the description for this video.
Okay, cool.
So,
All right, fellas.
thank you guys for watching, and I do apologize for the sporadicness. Like, we literally decided a few hours ago that, we're doing a podcast today, so...
we were so disgusted that we had to do a podcast. That's literally how it started.
Yeah.
I didn't think that this game was gonna come out that bad, but Jesus Christ, bro!
Oh,
Well, I mean,
hey, we might have another podcast tomorrow taking everything back. Who knows?
Yeah, we got to do the day one patch version of the podcast.
Oh yeah. Who's gonna bite the bullet and pay the $60?
Not me.
All right, not it. Neo. All right. Thank you guys for watching.
I might have to. Shit, I was this close to buying the BioShock collection on Switch last week. This close.
Oh man.
All right. I ended the stream.